Hi guys, welcome back to Hear Our Voices. This is a bonus episode. It's not going to be too long. It's just giving you more information about the EHV voucher. If you haven't heard about it, it's the Emergency Housing Voucher. The program is run through NYCHA Section 8. And if you don't know what NYCHA is, if you've been living under a rock or if you're just listening through this in a different country, a different state, NYCHA is public housing in New York City. If you don't know, I am based in New York City. And let me just get some other house cleaning things out the way, guys. If you haven't been watching or listening to us, you can go to us on YouTube and follow us there. You can go to us on Twitter. You can go to us on Facebook. You can go to us on Instagram. So if you want to come and check out the podcasts and job fairs and job postings and things like that, or even things would give out supplies for children or families or any individual who's homeless, really. You can go and check it out at any time. But please join our family. So, right now, if you don't know, they had, when Corona first started, well, I want to say not first started, or probably a little bit while we was in the crisis, like in the thick of it, they had a different programs for people who are in shelter and who are not in shelter to be able to keep their housing. The moratorium, it's hard to pronounce that word, guys, was put in place. Different things were put in place to help people stay in housing and not be put out. Some people were still put out. People find loopholes to get through a lot of things, but it wasn't happening at a rapid pace as it usually were because of everything happening and going on in the world. So this program was put in place and is funded, as I said, by NYCHA Section 8. The program accepts for all shelter residents. But I remember, I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I feel like I filled out this application myself, and I wasn't in the shelter at the time. I know they had a section, I think it was Section 8 regular. They had an application for it, and I was filling out. But yes, I'm reading an email, guys. So I'm telling you what the person who works with these vouchers gave me information about. And I'm telling you guys, I'm also going to do a video on my particular YouTube channel because people were asking me about this program. But really why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to do this before September 30th. You need to put in your application if you're in shelter, especially if you're in shelter, because people who have high priority shelter, DV, I want to say elderly, but I could be lying about the elderly part. I'm sorry. But people who are high priority are mostly the ones getting the housing. But is a waiting list. But people are putting applications, but they're not finishing out the applications. So even if you put in an application, but you didn't finish it out, you are put down in the list until you actually fill out. They're doing everything based on it. Say if you put it September 1st, but a person came on September 2nd, but because you didn't finish and complete it, the person September 2nd will come before you because they completed their whole application. You feel me? So that's how that's going. So if you have an application in, you never know. They're overflowing right now, but a lot of different programs, when they come to vouchers and waiting lists and things like that, it's hard to get in. But once you're in, you kind of set for until you need to, get bigger and better horizons, okay? So definitely before September 30th, try to get your information in. If you have a housing worker who's helping you, if there's even one at this point, because Lord. But it's a special system they can go in to fill out things for you. But if not, try to ask somebody who can go on your behalf to fill this information out for you, and put in your stuff and make sure they know that you're in shelter. It's not like a person who's in a double up. Make sure they know that you're in shelter or DV and you'll be on the priority list for these things. Granted, if you're new in New York City, street homeless, youth homeless, family shelters, DV shelters, they are all... It's a hard feat. They have a little bit of workers and a lot of people in shelter, and because of that, work is very hard and things don't get through. But just stick in there and do what you have to do on your part. And if this voucher don't work for you, another one hopefully will. So a lot of different programs are going to be starting to open up. Just keep your ears out on here, or keep your ears out on Twitter or Instagram of what we are telling you what's out there, so you can be able to help you and your family. We have the resource list coming out, and hopefully that is able to help you also. So, the caseworkers were tasked to screen people in the CAP survey. The CAPS is basically a system that shelters use to help people. So I'm telling you, if you're in a shelter right now and you're able to get a worker to go in the CAPS survey, see if you qualify, and it will help you out definitely. Everything is, a lot of time for these programs income based. So but if you, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are a person who makes over the income, they do have a program for you. I want to say it's SODA. They do have a program that could work for you, especially. So just don't be like, oh my gosh, because I make too much, I can't get programs. They do have a program that could work for you and your family. So don't stop looking out there for things and you think it's not gonna work for you. Okay, but they have things that can work for almost everybody. Almost everybody. We're trying to work with other things with city FEPs and FEPs, but right now, this is where we are. So, yeah. But they have a wait list, but you never know what could be a turn or who didn't fill out, and you end up being the next person on the list. So just make sure you are keeping up. Watch your emails. Always try to update. Always try to call. I'm the pain in the butt. I'll call. I will call if I have to. So make sure you're being an advocate for yourself. If you're not advocating for you, nobody will. So a lot of things, as you know, are backed up in general with a lot of things with DHS and with NYCHA and all these things. So just be gracious. You know the situation we are in. I knew before the pandemic they were packed up, but now with everything going on, the losses that we incurred with everything happening, it's even worse than before. So just give people grace, and just advocate for yourself the best that you can. Okay. So guys, thank you for listening to Hear Our Voices. This is not a long podcast. This is just to give you some vital information of deadlines coming up. So I hope you enjoy and come back on Wednesday and listen to the next podcast, guys. And we have a panel coming up. So listen out for the next panel. Information is coming out soon. And if you have any events that you want us to go to, or when we go to events, we give out resource information. We talk to people about the podcast. We talk to them about FHC, which is Family Homeless Coalition. So if you want us to come and table at your event, we go to school events, we will go to churches, we'll go to street, anything that you want us to be at. If you want us to be there and you think our service would be able to help the community or people at large, we'd definitely love to come out for that. So you can DM us at any time, or you can get us on Twitter. Is Twitter still considered DM? I don't know. I'm not the youngins anymore, but you could tweet us or whatever, and we'll definitely get back to you as soon as possible, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you for supporting Hear Our Voices. See you next time. Well, hear you next time. Later.